This episode is brought to you by our friends at Willow Window, your go-to experts for replacement windows, window treatments, and doors. They don't just install, they elevate. With a focus on honesty, professionalism, and top-tier quality, their team is committed to making your home more beautiful than ever. From clean job sites to precision craftsmanship, they treat your home like it's their own. Looking for a transformation you can trust? Visit www.willowwindow.pro and see the difference that true care makes. Welcome to the Runner Dudes podcast. Everyone is welcome. Runners are welcome. Walkers are welcome. The running curious are welcome. We're going to widen the door to running and soften the impact for anyone willing to lace up and show up. Today can be the day you take the first steps towards physical, mental, and spiritual well-being and become the person you are intended to be. We hope to inform, inspire, listen, learn, and help you start your own running journey, all while being moderately funny and low-key entertaining. Let's go, baby. Here we are. Welcome back.
We're back again.
Yeah, we're back with the Runner Dudes podcast. We got a special guest today, Caitlin Robbins.
Hello.
Hey. She's extremely nervous, which is hilarious because this is super low-key. And also, I have no beard.
You have.
We're going to talk about that.
Baby face.
We're talk about my baby face. I like to grow a beard for 6 months and then not tell my wife that I'm shaving and then come downstairs and startle her. So that's a weird thing I like to do. Every podcast, we do a question to Dusty. And I really dig this question because this one is, I think any runner who's experienced an injury or a setback is going to understand what's going on here. So, Dusty.
Yes.
True or false? When you are injured and on the shelf, literally everybody in Putnam County decides to become a runner.
Very, very true. We talked about this just a few minutes ago, but yes, absolutely. Every time that you get banged up, get hurt, it seems everybody else starts either you got new runners or you got your friends that continue. They either really start to ramp up doing different things. I guess this was after Memphis. Everybody was really geared up. We signed up. A lot of people signed up for Glass City. We had about 12 people signed up to run Glass City.
Yes.
I ended up getting injured and had 2 inguinal hernia repairs that I didn't know about.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
I expected for everybody else just to go ahead and just have some downtime as well.
Right now.
Didn't work out.
No.
Everybody else is running and going and doing. That was pretty, I don't know, that was pretty discouraging a little bit, I guess. But it helped me. First of all, it helped us, just like we talked about in our first couple of episodes, about slowing down.
Yeah.
Figuring out, hey, listen.
We're going to talk about a lot of that.
Just because everybody else is doing this style running does not mean that's good for everybody else. So, yeah, I think it's a kind of a wake-up call a little bit because you might be doing too much of one thing that you don't need to be doing. So, absolutely. But
I literally become the Kermit the Frog meme where he's got the cup of tea and he's sitting in front of the window watching it rain. And like people that I have begged to run, now all of a sudden when I can't run, now they've decided to get some running shoes and run by my house specifically.
Put you in a group text.
Yes. Meeting up Saturday, going to go get 10 in and then go eat chicken wings. I'm like, oh, I love chicken wings.
Then you leave the group.
And I decide who I want to actually be my friends. When this has happened, so this is a real thing. I believe wholeheartedly that when those runners are always there. Yeah. But when you're hurt and you can't run, it's just like you notice that everyone else is running. And so did this change the way you approached your running when you finally were healthy again to calm down, not be such a psycho?
It really did.
We got a fellow psycho in the room.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, it really did. You don't necessarily need to worry about what everybody else is doing because, honestly, your fitness is always going to be there.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to find it again.
Yeah.
It might take a little bit longer, but usually what I have learned, too, by the time that I take some time off, whether you're taking time off or whether you're injured, usually everybody else is peaking.
Mm.
By the time that they are getting ready to start kind of...
You're back, baby.
Oh, hey, man,
I'm cooking.
You're the top dog.
Yeah, it's true. It does come in waves,
And all of a sudden, oh, hey, listen, I have to run by myself now because everybody else is taking some time off.
That's right. I start running by their house. Knocking on doors like, hey, remember me? Yeah. All right. Introduce yourself.
I'm Caitlin Robbins, and I am a hairstylist in town and have my own salon. And I run. I'm a mom, a wife.
Yeah. Tell us about your girl. She's
Ansley is a 4th grade graduate, and she made the presidential award.
Yes.
All A's trophy, and she's living her best life right now.
Didn't she go to Dollywood today?
To Dollywood yesterday.
I'm so jealous of anybody going to Dollywood in the middle of the week.
Oh my goodness. And she rides that tower ride.
Yeah.
On 2 Chicken. I'm like, whoa. No. But she loves it. So.
Yes. Now, where are you from? Are you a native of Cookeville?
Orlando.
I didn't know that anybody was from Orlando. You're the one?
I'm the one, yeah.
The one.
Every time there's a crazy news article, Jason's like, it's your people.
It's Orlandoians.
What is the Florida?
Is that what you are, Orlandoian? Orlandon?
Or, I don't know.
Orlandon? Floridian.
Floridian.
What's up with the palmetto bugs?
I don't know.
What a nightmare. And the
I've been
iguana.
here so long now, like this is.
You're one of us.
Oh.
The iguana's falling out of trees.
Really?
Dog.
I do remember the love bug problem.
Oh my gosh. So you know what? I am going to tell it. We rented a car in Orlando. We're going to Disney World, and I opened the sun visor, and a palmetto bug, which if anybody doesn't know, is a gigantic cockroach. It's like the size of my cell phone. And it can fly. It turns into a bat.
Yep.
And so I was like, put me on the next plane back to Tennessee. We're done with Florida.
Today's episode is sponsored by Express Footwear, the healthy feet store that's all about the perfect fit. Whether you're hitting the trails, pounding the pavement, or just looking for all-day comfort, Express Footwear has you covered with a great selection of athletic shoes, walking shoes, hiking boots, and even recovery sandals. They don't just sell shoes, they help you find the right shoes for your feet. Visit Express Footwear and step into comfort's day. You can find them online at express-footwear-running.square.site.
Tell us about your husband. He's a big
Robbins.
He's a big part of the running equation.
Yes, he's a huge part of the running equation. He is so supportive. He's always at the start line and the finish line, and he likes to, on the haunted half, he'll go around town.
Yes.
He knows those streets and how to navigate it.
Such a good sport.
He is awesome.
So let's give it up for Jason. Yes. Let's give it up for all the wives and husbands that come out and watch us run very slowly around courses.
It's like a sport for CG. And CG shares her, like, where she's going to be so that the rest of the people can tag along. It's great. Yeah, he's a teacher at Upperman High School. He has been he just finished his 19th year.
Okay.
So,
what does he teach?
Art. He's an art teacher.
How did I not know that? Are you kidding me right now?
Cool. Yeah.
I did not know he was I do not see art teacher when I see Jason. That's incredible. Okay. Yeah. We're learning. I also learned that Dusty was in the military on the podcast. So
yes.
I learned a lot of stuff that I should already know. Yeah.
Well, we talk about shoes so much.
Yes. Yes. So get into how you got into running. Did you run as a child? Did you run in high school?
No.
Okay.
PE online in high school. I did not want to sweat.
That's the thing.
The Floridian in me, it was like second period PE. No. So I signed up for PE online.
Yeah.
It was too hot. I have curly hair naturally, so I would have been ruined for the whole day.
Wrecked your whole day.
So I did it online. My family still teases me.
If you think about your PE experiences, like especially if you had it early in the day, then you just smell like BO the rest of the day. Yeah. And usually, like I had like PE, and then you go right into lunch eating like rectangle pizza and drinking milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what was that about?
I don't even know.
Thanks a lot, core curriculum. Any sports? Did you do anything athletic?
Volleyball, and I did. I did basketball, volleyball, and then I did do track, but I was the shot put.
Shot put.
We were not. A little bit of the relay and shot. I was not athletic, really. So I have 3 brothers, though, so super. I have a sister too, but the brothers I was
competitive with.
So competitive.
Yes.
Board games, anything.
Yes. I could see where that makes sense now, knowing you as a runner.
That's where the psycho comes out.
Yeah.
So.
Shot put, I don't think there's anything in the world I know less about than shot putting.
Really heavy ball.
It's a heavy ball, and you just chuck that thing. What was your?
I have no idea.
You have to spin with it and push it, right?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes. Of course, we knew each other at O'Charlie's years ago, back in the day. And then at what age did it even cross your mind that what was your fitness journey? Did you start with running? Did you start with cycling? Did you start with, how did we get here?
Years ago, I did 3 miles a day, but like YMCA treadmill. And then I ended up lifting weights, got out of running. But then I got on the Peloton. I'd done some other boot camps and things, and I'd kind of switch around. And so I got onto the Peloton after the Spin City had closed. Mm-hmm. And so I'm on the Peloton for twice a day and not looking like any of the instructors. So I Googled what Robin, our son, did, and what she, like, how do I look like her? And so it was a vanity thing at first, like, how do I lose weight and do this? And so because I was looking at what she was eating and doing and Googling about her, she's a runner, an ultra marathon runner.
This is one of the Peloton instructors.
Yes.
Okay. And this is the cycling Peloton.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And she's actually like the director of their content and everything now. So she's awesome. But she was a run coach too, which that's what made me think of a run coach.
Okay.
And
we'll get into that in a second.
But it said that she ran marathons, and I thought, I guess I need to run a marathon.
Okay.
And so I toyed with that idea. I mentioned it to my little brother, Gant, who lives in Honolulu, and he was like, come run the marathon. And I was like, huh. And so after like juggling that around for a day or two, but then I talked to CJ, who's your wife, my friend.
Yes.
She was talking about St. Jude's.
Yes.
So I got it. Then by the end of that conversation, I'm crying and signed up to fundraise and raise money and run a marathon for the kids. So
yeah,
it's kind of...
For sure.
I signed up for the marathon before my first long run.
You know, it's funny you say vanity because I just celebrated 10 years sobriety. And so, yes, and I did say that for a round of applause. Thank you, guys.
You deserve it.
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. And so I make the joke. It's half joke, half true because, like, part of the day that I hit bottom, I remember looking in the mirror and just being like, good Lord, you look terrible. Like I just had run myself into the ground and I was like, we got to do better than this. I was like big puffy cheeks and my teeth looked terrible from all the cigarette smoking. And I was 35 and I was like, keep doing this, fast forward. And so I have vanity to thank for my sobriety in some small part. So that tells you a little bit about me.
Whatever works.
But yeah, of course. And I tell everyone that gets into running, I'm like, please don't look at this as
it's not a weight loss program.
It's not a weight loss program.
No.
And it's just
I eat a bag of something while I'm planning dinner. It's terrible and I didn't do that before running.
Right, because you're always hungry.
Everybody runs so that they can eat.
Yes.
And eat lots of it, whatever you want.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's it. I mean, do you find when you're training and you're high mileage, you're starving?
Always you're just tearing food up left and right.
Yes.
You can't ever get full.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I ordered a salad today with my fig sandwich, but the half salad. And then I bought almonds at Sam's Club, and that was my big win. Like, I'm going to be healthy now because I bought a bag of almonds.
Yeah.
But it's terrible. All the things we eat, like...
I don't know what it is about almonds, but that does make me feel like I am just like living the California fresh life, man. I am so healthy.
And then Jason told me the amount of almonds that I needed to eat. Yes, and I was like, well, there's that plan.
Not the whole bag.
The bag is this big, and
yes.
It's $28.
I'm eating $72 worth of almonds in a session.
I'm not getting anything out of it.
And I'm not getting out. Now I'm going to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, side note, there's a McDonald's being opened up within walking distance of my house.
What? Where?
Really?
Yeah, 12th Street and Willow, I think, right there close to Rationale.
Yeah.
Yes.
The McDonald's in there?
The McDonald's right there. Yeah. So, Travis, if you're listening, diet's going right in the McDonald's trash can. Okay, so we got into running because we wanted to drop some lbs. Yep. But then we found that we
loved it.
So was St. Jude, you had been running when you signed up for St. Jude-ish.
Well, I did that like years staying because my parents are both diabetic. And so I was turning like 24 and I was like, it's only going to get harder to lose. Mm-hmm. So I picked, for some reason I had, let's run a 5K every day. So I did, but that was, I mean, just for play kind of. I wasn't serious about it. I'd go run a 5K and then go to Spanky. Like,
yeah, right.
It wasn't.
We're not serious. We're not trying to win the 5K. No. We're just running a little bit.
Watching the basketball game, throwing on a treadmill.
On a treadmill.
Yeah.
So you started out running on a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy to me.
Because I'm a chicken.
Yes,
I'm super scared of-
we'll get into that, because we've talked about with all of our female guests about safety and running and feeling safe. And I know that I don't know how, every time I run the quad at Tech, I don't know how you haven't ran a path in the concrete.
Yeah.
Because you have ran that.
It's safe.
Yes.
She owns all the Strava segments.
Oh, dude, don't even try to get the Strava segment.
Even when I came back from injury, I still had.
Yes. Yeah, nobody even came close.
No.
So you approached me I had not even thought about really coaching runners. And so
Not at all.
had not even, I had talked to some people. I had a coach myself. And so you approached me and said, hey, would you like to coach me? And I was like, sure. And so that's how that whole thing got started.
I was looking at different lists of like people in like Knoxville and Nashville and not local. How do I know how to pick? And I thought, I know who to text. Let me text CG and find out what Michael's doing. And
Yeah.
so that's how.
So she nudged me into there would be no Runner Dudes coaching.
Yeah.
Or probably Runner Dudes podcast. So look at that. For the 12 people listening.
You know how big of a role you play.
Yes.
Cool.
Caitlin made this all possible. Tell me versus running on your own and then having a coach. I know this will be weird because your coach is sitting in the room. But what is the advantages to having a coach? As you see it? Okay.
Yeah. The accountability, somebody to tell me not to run, don't get injured.
Biggest part. That's the hardest part.
Don't be psycho.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill yourself.
Yes.
Nike's not paying me.
That's it. I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the accountability, I really need that. I need to know, somebody is watching to see if I do it. Because it's too easy to find excuses.
100%, especially we're getting into summer. Have you had a coach? Have you been coached before, or have you all just done it on your own?
I've never had a coach. Probably a good idea, too. The only coach I had is when I really got big into doing triathlons. I did get a swim coach.
Sure.
Because I learned real quick, the swim is the very first event.
Yes.
And the first time I did an open water swim, I was ready to quit as soon as my head bobbed to the top of the water.
Yes.
Because you're fighting for yourself. But I did get a swim coach, a lady in McMinnville, Paige Northcutt. She was an Olympic swimmer.
Very cool.
Her helped me for about 6 to 9 weeks, about 9 weeks, I guess it was. But I've never had a run. As far as a run coach, I never have.
People ask me all the time. They're just like, man, you obviously, you've accomplished some things in running. Why in the world? I'm just like, Eliud Kipchoge has a coach. Yeah. I mean, what did we talk? Michael Jordan had a coach, what I mean? So, and like you said, for me, and mainly Travis telling me to slow down. He's told me several times already during this, we're getting ready to train for St. Jude. Mm-hmm. And he's been like, dude, stop it. What are you doing? You're going too fast. Slow down. But there is that accountability, because if I'm left to my own devices, I can be like,
Well, how many times have I tried to make up miles? I'll miss a run or two, and then I'm like, well, let me run double today.
Yeah.
And I'll just run
I'm like, what are you doing?
18 on one day to make it up.
We do that.
Yeah.
We go completely bonkers.
I think there's nothing wrong. That's a great idea.
Yes. So to me, yes, having a coach is accountability in both ways. Making sure I actually run my miles, and then making sure that I don't try to make them all up in one day. Yeah. And so I do both of those things.
The Runner Dude Coaching and Consulting. With over 10 years of experience, Michael England is the running coach you've been looking for. He's not only passionate about you and your running journey, but also about you as a person. For Michael, running has not only helped him get into the best shape of his life, but has been a vital tool in maintaining sobriety, mental health, and spiritual health. You can experience this as well, and the Runner Dude can help. Follow Michael on Instagram at the Runner Dude Cookeville, and send him a DM that you're ready to become a runner.
You have had a setback or two, as any runner does. Yes. And so how did you deal?
Not well. Not well.
Anybody says they do, they're lying.
It's bad.
It's tough.
It's very tough.
I had this stress fracture last year that I thought was just tendonitis, or I was told was just tendonitis. So then I ran a 5K on it. Pretty sure that's what really tanked me.
Yes.
I ran a 26-minute 5K.
Yeah, that's a win.
That was a win.
Yes.
But then I was out for 15 or 16 weeks.
Wow.
So.
What is so terrible about getting injured or feeling like something's giving you trouble? Like I told you about my knee kind of feels wonky.
It's hard, especially coming back, because now, like, my foot's out. I've got an appointment on June the 9th with TOA. I'm excited to go see them. I'm hoping it's all in my head, of course.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I've got my foot. It's the same foot. It's feeling kind of wonky, and so you just don't ever know, like.
The first thing, though, when you come back from injury, it doesn't matter what it is. It's something you're like, it's broken.
It's broken.
I have I have blown my knee out.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And then it's just a little, I mean, I don't know.
It could be
The older you get, little aches and pains, man.
Yes.
They either tell you, hey, you're still alive, first of all.
Still odd.
Two, hey, just rest today.
Well,
2 days.
we all go. I think humans in general are always worst case scenario,
Yeah.
and runners are the worst for worst case scenario.
You're like, oh my gosh.
Yes, this is.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my gosh, the
broken.
goo.
Knee injury.
Knee injury.
Everything.
Yeah, they're going to have that baby amputated, And so that's it. I can have, but now, luckily, with enough experience, what I have learned is, if you got that knee that feels wonky, or what you're doing with your foot, you're slowing down, you're going to go get it looked at. And then 99% of our injuries or pain we have is inflammation based.
Yep.
And so if you allow that some rest and you allow the inflammation to go away, then you can get back to training. And in my head, I always think, well, if I give it just 2 or 3 days, that's not enough because it's going to come right back. That's not true.
Right.
Once that inflammation threshold goes down, and of course, anybody who's actually a medical doctor listening to this is probably just like screaming into their radios, like, what is he talking about?
So,
But it does. Like, once you give it enough time to calm down, chill out, and then you get back to training, and you can jump right back into it. Whereas if you ignore it, which I've done that as well, if you ignore something and just keep taking 20 a leave a day, then you end up with a broken foot.
Broken foot.
Yeah, broken foot.
Wondering what happened.
What happened?
I didn't feel anything until it was.
Well,
I was taking.
And your job exacerbates everything.
My job is. I love my job. I'm so blessed and fortunate with the business I've built in my clients.
But you're on your feet.
But I'm on my feet for 10, 12 hours a day.
Right.
So.
That is a lot.
Stool. And remember, I was like,
Yeah.
I got a stool. Our problems are you use it like.
Well, there's no way because you're moving around too much,
Yeah,
right?
it's too hard.
It's in the way for sure.
Just keeping Dusty in business with good shoes. I've switched to my whole attire is now like sportswear, athleisure wear, so I can wear the sneakers.
Yes.
and figured out the 9.5 works.
Yes, the 9.5. Apparently, if you size up and don't squish your toes to death,
That's hilarious.
One of 5 children. I didn't want small, too big shoes. Like,
Well, speaking of shoes, you have become quite the sneakerhead because you've got a ton of running shoes and they're always the coolest. Yeah. And of course, Dusty at Express Footwear has got, he's got all the hot shoes right now.
yes.
And then we'll also talk about a 4-letter word that we don't like to bring up. Nike.
But
Dusty, just do this, Dusty.
My ears.
Plug your ears, bro.
The shoes are
Yes.
they're getting better and better. And
100%.
and actually, and Nike keeps switching things.
Yeah.
Nike, if you're listening, stop it.
Stop it. The Glycerin Max.
Glycerin Max.
Love.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. And Mizuno.
Mizuno, the Neo Vista.
Yep.
Matter of fact, he's holding me a pair right now. I got to go pick those up.
Same.
So yeah, the sneaker collection is pretty solid. That's right.
Make sure I don't infringe on any of the rights that I can't announce, but there are some there's some new shoes that are coming in a couple of styles that are really, really, really cool. Everybody's going from the big Max foam shoes to some of your smaller, really lightweight. They're really, really cool.
You talking about from Mizuno, or are we talking about Brooks, or all of them? You can't say.
Can't say.
Brooks for sure. Mizuno's the next.
Okay, there you go.
They've got some.
Isn't it crazy how everything evolves? It comes. Everybody was going giant stack height. That's what we got to have. And then I think everybody's going, even like I know we're not talking about Nike, pretend like I'm not saying this, but like the Vaporfly, they're starting to make that stack height much less.
That's apparently a thing that they they look at in the future.
Yeah.
And they feel like if they are not changing, then they're going to be behind on other things. Like I said, when they're putting the stack height and the cushion in different places,
right,
to benefit different.
Right.
But there's a couple of different new style shoes that are.
I'm excited.
Will it still be cushioned though?
Very much so.
Okay.
Had a pretty good. I got the demo about 4 different new shoes here lately that are just.
You would think Nike could, or some of these companies could put some of this technology in their Jordan 4s, but they haven't got there yet. So I'm still walking around with blisters on my feet here in 2025.
What Jordan could have done with a little bit.
I don't even. I don't. Oh my gosh. Oh my. He would have. The records would still. It would stand to this day if he wasn't. He might still be playing if it weren't for Jordan 4s. Thanks a lot, Tinker Hatfield. You jerk. All right, let's reel it in here. We always like to talk female safety, and you are probably one of the most disciplined when it comes to making sure. And we've had a lot of really good conversations. Yes. And so we've spoke kind of. Me and you obviously were friends at O'Charlie's, and we've become coach and runner and close in that way. So we've talked openly about this subject. Yes. And there are some things. It's like I've got written in my notes here. It's just like. We have to talk about there is perfect world, and then there's the perfect world would be so nice.
So fun.
And I don't want to ever dip into blaming anyone for anything that happens to them. That's not ever what I'm saying. But we live in reality. Is this something, I know we've talked about this.
Reality is scary.
Reality is scary.
And I don't want to be a headline. So
thank you.
My husband, he does say, he's like, why don't you run from the house? I'm like, but it just takes one person to notice that's because I'm so routine. If they picked up on that's my routine. So I like going to tech. I like the police officers are circling around.
They know you.
Wave at them plenty of times. And first name basis with a lot of them. And
a lot of good dudes that work at the tech police. Shout out tech police.
Too.
Yes.
There's also a pretty good group.
We have a group.
Guys that run from there as well.
Yes.
And plus, too, you've got some that start at different locations that usually always intersect.
Yeah, like we'll cross we call them the Y runners, and we're out there. And then the bikers, too, are out there now, too. And that's kind of fun to see them. So we like that. But
we're so blessed to have tech.
It's such a blessing.
Yeah, because you've got so many areas that it's lit at all times. There's activity going on. There is a very noticeable police presence.
We went home from the pizza place the other night, and it was 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, this is weird. It feels like running time. Because it's the same amount of lit. I guess it was before the daylight.
Yeah, sure. The day it's lit up.
Amount of lit with the lights and everything that...
Yes.
Was in the morning. It was really nice. So
yeah, I don't think I've been some places in town where I've felt kind of the depot, the All Good Trail, but tech I've never really had any bad experiences because it's just you're insulated.
Yes.
But this is another thing that like you said, I mean, you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a business owner. I mean, the goal is to run fast, but it's also to get home.
Get home.
Right?
Get home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have girls to raise and hair to color and kiss and all the things.
All the things. And I think it's I don't ever want to. I think women should be able to wear whatever they feel comfortable in. I think they should be able to run anywhere, anytime. But you have to. I think there's a responsibility on you that's incumbent to be aware of the fact.
And you want to think about when you want to run. Hey, is this going to happen?
It's not worth for me to be scared or nervous or looking over my shoulder. So I just go to where I know is safe, or I have a friend or multiple friends.
Yeah.
I try and run where I know there's a sidewalk I can jump on. There's been a couple times that I've reached for my belt and got my pepper spray in my hand, or gotten my watch to call 911, and then the car ended up going the other way finally. But there's been a couple of scary times, but it's always worth it just to stay where you know you're safe or know you're going to be taken care of. Or those groups. The groups are great.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think just be aware of your surroundings, and I think have a buddy.
Running friends are, they're amazing. They show up. Yeah. We're all in it together, and
I love, because sometimes you have to run alone. You may be running a workout and you're running a certain pace and you got to get business done. But I love running in a group, when you say, Dusty?
Yeah, I think that's the best. I mean,
it's the best.
We do our breakfast club runs. That's the best. And two, I'll throw this out. Caitlin has a sixth sense about as far as a prescribed mileage that we look at or a route. She can really, hey, listen, we're going to run the breakfast club pace, chill pace this morning. We need 8 miles. She can dial it in. No matter
Mary Grace calls it my party trick.
just on the fly. We can always count on it when we've ran that.
Oh, you can like you're like a tom-tom.
Like, we could,
No matter where we live, like me, we need about 9.
Yes.
We need about 7.
Yes.
Uneasy.
left some poets one day, and I was like,
I got
where we
to.
going? They were like, you pick. And I mean, I'm
Nailed
going
it.
out left,
Yeah.
right.
That's hilarious because Jeff Lynch calls me the human tom-tom. He was just like, I don't need Strava to tell me what route to run. He was because I've ran every conceivable route around Tech.
Yes.
Every turn, I know what. If we need a half mile, I got you.
Yes.
Yes, that's
You ran the same kind of area enough that then you're like, well, I know that this little spot, it's
yes.
it's ingrained.
One thing I want to say, and I'm going to start trying to end every episode with this, is that, and I know that I tell you this all the time, we want to, how many times did I tell you to slow down?
Slow down. I think my very first run with you as my coach, it was like 7 miles. You were like, that was great, but you need to slow down.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yes, this ain't race day.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And what?
I've tried to listen.
She's tried to listen. That's exactly right. But I have tried to listen, and I tell people all the time, do what I say. Pay no attention to my Strava. Yeah, because we all gravitate towards this pace that isn't easy. And it's the
Especially when you're alone, it gets hard because then you're not talking, so there's no conversation.
there is no conversational pace.
Listening to whatever and
Yes.
jamming. So
Yes.
Wake up that morning on that easy run and feel really good. And you're like,
Yes.
go ahead and rip this off, and then tomorrow I'll go easy.
ooh,
And then it doesn't happen.
Or catch a low humidity day, or catch feels better. Next thing you know, I'll look down, I'm running some ridiculous pace. I'm like, Travis is going to be on me about this one.
wear the shoes.
Yeah, if a new pair of shoes, you're feeling good. Oh, sure. Yes, a progression. What a buffoon. You know, so that is what I want to. Anything else you want to add? Do you feel like you did okay?
I think I'm finally.
Is your heart rate back
Okay,
down?
what else do you want to talk about?
Can we start over? Let's just record now.
I think it'd be better than that.
Let's start.
I'm going to put a heart rate monitor on her and put it up.
I'm going to tell you something. Being around celebrities is pretty nerve-wracking, you know. And so me and Dusty definitely fall into that.
Well, you guys are so. I mean, you're veterans, so it's intimidating.
Yeah.
Skilled.
Yeah. We didn't mention the Willow Window Studios. John's going to evict us from here.
They're going to kick us out.
Guess
so
what?
nice
No
in
more.
here.
I can't say on a.
Use this for sure.
The studio is awesome, and if you don't have their windows and you need windows, I have their windows. They're fantastic.
Jason's gonna be upset because I'm gonna go home and say we need to go get.
You need to get some windows from Willow Window. They're phenomenal.
Nice.
They're the best. No, for no joke. And also we got Express Footwear.
Express Footwear and Running. 30 Interstate Drive.
Hit it. We got Jimmy on the 1s and 2s with Sight and Sound Creative, and I am Runner Dudes Coaching. So hit me up. Caitlin, do you approve of my coaching?
Yeah.
Give me an endorsement.
100% recommend. I'm always recommending.
She is. I met a lady at the hospital today who said that you cut her hair, and she said, "Are you Michael England?" I said, "Depends on who's asking." And she told me that you said that I was your coach, and
It's been 3 years actually.
crazy.
Like,
How is that?
just passed.
Yes.
Something, yeah.
Not that he needs any help, but it probably does do. It's a benefit that he is a good human. Being a coach is what.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, does he yell at you? I was like, no, I mean,
I've heard some very strange coaching stories about other coaches and negative experiences.
Talk about some coaching.
I can't imagine paying someone to like berate me.
yell. But if I really need it.
Had one when she was on here, told us about her coach. Basically said, "Hey,
I'm not.
I won't repeat his name.
Yeah,
We're done.
we're done.
We're done.
She kept having in like a pain, and she said she wanted to take a week off, and
We're done."
we're done. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I listen, and that's what I want to end the episode with is life is hard enough as it is. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a business owner, a dad, all the things. We don't need to add another thing to the list of things that are hard and suck. And so running, if you're doing it, if you're thinking about doing it, you can do it. Just go slow.
It's always hard for Travis. You gotta have your fun runs.
Fun runs.
Absolutely.
Gotta be fun runs. And
Fun runs make the workouts better because then you're like, okay, let's work.
Yes. And like right now, we're mileage building. And so all my runs are I know I can just go put my shoes on and just go for for a chill pace. So again, guys, if you're thinking about running, you can do this, lace them up, just go slow. What are you doing? If you're not having fun, slow down.
Yeah,
right?
because it's fun.
It is fun. And Caitlin, you're killing it. Your fastest races are in front of you.
Hope so.
And so I appreciate
Visualizing it.
Yes, I appreciate the trust. And I'll tell anybody who's listening, the secret to success is not a secret. It is running. It is putting your shoes on and consistency. And there is nobody that I know that is more consistent than Caitlin Robbins. She hits all the miles. So, guys, thank you for listening. Caitlin, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Fun.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
The Runner Dudes podcast is sponsored by Express Footwear and Runner Dude Coaching and Consulting. Produced by Jimmy Thorpe at sightandsoundcreative.com.